My new joint hit, you just can't sit. Gotta get jiggy with it. That's it. The honey, honey, come ride. TKNY, all up in my eyes. Got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it. Give it to your friend, let's spin. Everybody looking at me, glancing a kid. Wishing they was dancing a jig here with this. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Take a look at the disclosure. It is 6:32, August 13th. Give it up, you make it feel like foreplay. Yo, my cardio is. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, old school. You know what I said? I want summertime radio, Will Smith, and this is what comes up. You guys remember this? This is before Will Smith became a little crazy. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. This is the 6:30 Club. It's 6:33. It's August 13th. It is Tuesday. It is PPI day. You know what that means? It means that we're going to get some measures of inflation. Right now, inflation seems to be coming in. If it comes in enough, everyone can start focusing on the Fed for September 18th. Is it a quarter? Is it a half? Is this rally off last week's lows running its course? How much left does it have to go? We are measuring levels. We're mapping out plans. That's what we do here. Anyway, let me say what's up to some of my dogs real quick before we get going. Who do we got? Who we got? We got Jamie. What's up? Good morning. We got Mr. Myers. There he is coming in again. We got Tapan. We got Scotty Gids. We got Jose. It's is in the house. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so let's take a look here. I try and be a little forward looking. You know, Red Dog likes to paint pretty pictures. You know, I'm not much of an artist. And yesterday I started talking to you about scenario A and scenario B, you know, as potential scenarios to look at, you know, in the market to measure out where potentially this market can go and where could you play longs that make sense, where does it make sense and get trickier, and where do you think you could get a little short for, you know, a different type of move. So anyway, you know, yesterday I drew you guys the V. Remember the V bottoms you can hear about on TV. It's just a V bottom, and you know, does the V bottom turn into a W? What's a W? Usually a W happens when you get a retest of the V bottom or of some sort. But at this point, we still haven't even reached the top of the V. So I'm trying to show you guys where that could be, and I'm trying to stop everybody from getting too short on the brain. But anyway, you know, 510 was last week's low, which we were buying. Remember that? That was nice, buying the whole. Anyway, then the blood in the street buy was 517 because I can only buy the blood in the street account on the close besides my active account, my swing account, my box account. And here you go. Yesterday we hit a high of 535. That's 15 points if you model that account. But anyway, so I've been mapping out levels of where we can go that I would feel very comfortable if we get there this week, fading and hedging and trying to be short or opportunistic. I've tried to stay away from this zone because this is kind of no man's land. You know, it's saying, hey, you know, 537 is this low, 537 starts to gap, but 542.50-ish would be a retest of that head and shoulders top that triggered that gave us the move down to 510. So anyway, so like I said yesterday, I sold a little bit of 541 and 544 calls into strength for Friday, saying that if the PPI comes in light and we continue to the upside, I don't want to be short right here. You know, if the CPI comes in light and we go up, I don't want to be short right here just because I don't like being short and losing money. But anyway, but you know, a move from 510 to 535, that's 25 points in the SPYs. I feel comfortable trying to get short in here for a trade. You know, then people are like, well, if we get above there, then are we in a new bull market, or, you know, what is it, just a broken bounce? And you're going to hear all about that on TV anyway. I'm like, well, if we get into here, you know, you don't have to go all the way back down to retest 510. That's why I drew in, you know, this was yesterday's low, 530.95. Then you have 528. Then you have 523, 517. So I like to, you know, be kind of prepared ahead. So when things get to where they are, you know, it's not such a, you know, weird phenomenon. So anyway, by the way, the SPYs that were up 20 handles are now up only 10 cents. So at this point, you know, you have Home Depot that said the consumer's slowing. There is a few more things that just came out of Iran. Nothing happened with Iran and Israel yet, thank goodness. But you can tell this market doesn't know how much more it wants to go, so it's very fickle. You have fickle shorts, that have been rolling up, and you have guys that say, "Hey, I don't want to get caught long up here," so it's creating that push pull like yesterday. So sometimes you don't have to do a whole hell of a lot. Sometimes things are compelling, and sometimes things aren't. To me, this is a tester short. I'd rather be short 541, 544s into Friday versus right here. But if we don't get there, which we might not, PPI comes in a little hot today, bombs start falling. Who knows? Maybe yesterday's high of 535 will be the high, and then all of a sudden you get the retrace game. I would definitely think we go below that. 528, 523, 517. So we'll see. So this was yesterday's thoughts, and here we are. So obviously the cues are important. You could do the same thing, measure out areas. Okay, that's what I like to do. I like to measure out areas. You had to move from 423 to 454. That's a nice move. A little bit of a doji yesterday. Put in yesterday's low, 448.55, 448.55. 448.55 is right here. In order to start the retracement process here, it's got to get below and stay below 448.55. And again, if we have, equity-friendly PPI and CPI and the market wants to squeeze, this to me would be a zone I'd feel very comfortable if we saw it into the end of the week. And I'm not saying we're going to see it, but if we see this zone going into the end of the week, right here, I would definitely be looking to fade that, not buy it the first time getting there. If we went from here down to like here, and then next time we went in, it's a little different story. But anyway, that's the cues. IWM isn't reacting well. The AD lines were really bad yesterday, believe it or not. You have 208. I guess we'll see what happens. The only, I guess the thing that the IWM is hoping for is that the PPI is light, so the money rotates a little bit back to the small caps the way they did here. Remember, this was the CPI move that caused, it was a different market then too. This is when you had a huge channel, a lot of accumulation, and then everyone who was accumulating got paid into that, and then you had this erratic, crazy FOMC move that got stopped most leftover shorts out right here. So anyway, so now you're in this lower, could be a bearish flag, or it could trigger above 208 or 211. But at this point, I wouldn't take a big bet either way. I actually have a few IWM calls on just in case, but if there is zero, there is zero. It's not a big deal. I just got back to my high watermark highs of the year yesterday. I lost a little bit yesterday, but it was nice that after a 9.5% correction to the downside, Red Dog was at the highs of his year, and people think that I'm a perma bull trader, which isn't true. I try and take advantage of every move if it happens in a conducive way to my style, and I try and change and evolve. So if it's not my style, I have new styles. But anyway, I did sell my Apple yesterday. Everyone's like, Red Dog, why are you selling Apple? I'm like, well, look what Apple did. Last Monday, you could have been a buyer between 196 and 202, and it just rallied back to this 202 area. Can you get to 224? If the spies go to 540 or 542, if we get those light CPI and PPIs, there's a chance there's one more push, but I don't need to play for it. If you're an investor, stay in Apple for the next 5 years. You're going to friggin' crush it. If you're a trader and you're going to get paid in the end of August, chances are you just caught the meat of this move. Doesn't mean you have to short it either. And then you have a lot of these lower pivots that the market doesn't know if it's going to get above. Like, look how tight Microsoft is. Okay, you have you've had this decent active sequence to the downside. There's your 8-day. It's hovering, lagging. Obviously, Apple had a better bounce. If it gets above 410, you get 420. If all of a sudden yesterday was the high of this first ace sequence of the bounce, then you got to be careful if this breaks. And you're seeing a lot of these type of patterns here. Tesla has that also. It's got this lower level area that it seems like it could get above, but if it doesn't, and that's just another bear flag like this bear flag, just don't get caught being long. So I have a little options, and I'm waiting to see another, is this a bear flag to go lower or not? A lot of things happened last night with Trump and Elon, and they couldn't handle the amount of people. They're saying there was so many people because everyone wants to watch, but then meanwhile, the technology couldn't handle it. But anyway, that's that. Good morning, Sammy. Yeah, Home Depot is not good. Let's see what an HD looked like prior. Oh, pretty broken. Okay, so I don't think the street was expecting much. What's Home Depot doing? It's down 15. I'm not playing it. Some guys were like, Red Dog, Red Dog. Did you see ONON? I know you loved that stock. I'm like, I did play that stock many times. I did not play it into earnings. I really don't have much FOMO right now on big upside moves. So ONON, which looked pretty tight. I don't think it was a horrible report, but again, with Nike and all these things with Sugar His team in the Fen had to be tremendous. So for me, I didn't play it. Okay, I played it last time. This was a great move. So now I would say, where is ONON right now? If you're looking at it, it's down 8%, 36, which is below here. So this area is worth a look, but again, it's up to you on how many things you want to own. At this point, I would be light on my feet, which is what I'm doing. Anyway, I am still in NVIDIA from yesterday. NVIDIA will give some clues. NVIDIA was a great trade, to be honest. You had a bunch of trades here. This is like the anatomy of a technical trader's dream, right? First of all, it gave you a high, a lower high, telling you to get out of the way, that the semis are in trouble. Then I remember saying, hey, if NVIDIA breaks 127, the semis are in trouble. Get the hell out of the way. And that happened right there. Then you had a retest into the prior low and it failed, another lower high. Then on Fed day, or whatever that day was, it did a red dog reversal, got above 118, failed, told you to get the hell out of Dodge with risk. And then Monday, we were buying last Monday, and then it looked like this could have been the end of the rally. But guess what? You had a red dog reversal around 98.69, which trapped some shorts, and then you had to move above 106, and then here we are heading into resistance. So those were all the thoughts, and that's how we navigated NVIDIA, and it also gave you clues on risk. So NVIDIA has been a great leading indicator. So for now, NVIDIA is up $1.20. If NVIDIA holds, chances are they're not going to be able to sell too much today. But if all of a sudden it goes red and this was your short-term pivot, which is actually, this is 113-ish. Yesterday's high is 111.07. Well, it's been good. Avago is not a leading indicator. AMD is not a leading indicator. SMCI is not a leading indicator. They're all semis. They move at their own. But NVIDIA is a name that most traders watch, and it's giving you a ton of clues. I'm in a little bit. I actually just trimmed a little bit up $1.50, and I'm going to wait to see how it goes. But I would watch, NVIDIA today. AMD has one of those pocket pivots, which is trying to poke its head up a little bit more. I don't know. I'm still in a little bit. Yes, I made good money finding that inflection point where, the Bulls and the Bears were fighting. I'm in a little bit, and we'll see what happens into. It doesn't want to see 142. If it does, it's going to get above 137.99. This was yesterday, 136.48. So this is 137.99. Can you get above 137.99 today to see 139 to then get to there? That'd be a big move. Not saying it happens, but I'm in a little bit. AMD's been a very tricky stock, for it has been, for this year. TTD was horrible even when the market was good. I remember trading TTD, when it had that false breakout up here. You just had to go all the way down here to go all the way up there. Just, this is a tough name. Anyway, I'm not doing anything with that. Anyway, what else? Oh, you want me to look at Amazon? Amazon is pretty tight. Okay. A lot of retail numbers coming out on Thursday. Obviously, Home Depot just said the retail segment isn't great. It's not obviously all retail, but anyway, there is a big gap here. There might be a trade at some point, but as of right now, I haven't been that active with Amazon. I'm still a little pissed off at Jeff for friggin' unloading all of his shares here, not giving us one more trade like we had right here. But anyway, that was then. This is now. Here's a big gap. Does it get in there or not? If it starts turning lower, I would kind of avoid that. GLD has been really strong, David. You're right. GLD, wow, what a move. Okay, we were in GLD, gold and silver a lot of this year. My major trade on GLD was down here, 193. Got out of it into this move, and then since then, I haven't been doing a whole hell of a lot there. But those of you who have been accumulating gold in your asset allocation program, congratulations. And those who traded for a living, it looks pretty good. Okay, I think gold and Bitcoin should be a total of 15% of your asset allocation if you have one of those pie charts with your Morgan guy or Goldman guy or your JP Morgan guy. I'm your T3 guy that trades actively for a living, but is also 51 years old, and I do my own asset allocation besides what I do at T3 to make money for a living. have to do something with my money that I make. Anyway, that's why I have those 7 accounts that on Fridays I tell you what's going on there, so you can mimic them if possible. All right, AMD just got hit. What the hell happened there? It's down $1.60. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA is still up, so this is AMD centric, I guess. Hold on. Let's see. See, something just happened here. Let's see. See, when you have AMD down $1.40 and you have NVIDIA up there, and then you have the SPYs, just that just came in up 18 cents. I mean, something just happened here. I could probably go to my alpha team and ask them what happened at 6:47 in the morning, and they will tell me. But at this point, all right, AMD is going back into the do not touch list. Anyway, we'll continue. But that's kind of annoying. But annoying things happen in the market, and you just have to respond and move on. Anyway, look, I did sell someone. It was up. So now the virtual trade floor sees it get red. Anyway, gold, yeah, gold looks good. Silver's been a pain in the ass, excuse my French. Silver, gold is up here in this quadrant, and silver is all the way down here, just filling this gap. So I would stick with gold, not silver. As far as Bitcoin, this channel continues. At some point, this channel is going to freaking resolve to the upside and really get going. But until that happens, you have to be a little careful. Look at the size of this channel. Huge, huge channel. So at some point, this momentum asset will go back to being a momentum asset. But for right now, it's still, since March, it's been going sideways under accumulation. And now all these ETFs could buy it and all these wirehouses could buy it. So at some point, it'll be in tight enough hands where it gets going. You can actually probably see it better if I go to the weekly chart. Oh, I haven't looked at the weekly in a while here. So this is your channel on the weekly. If you want to, go like this. Here is the upper end of the channel. Definitely annoying within the channel. Let's see. Sometimes when I don't look at the weekly channel for a while, because I haven't really been playing Bitcoin as much. Here's what it looks like here. This was your fake out last Friday. It's still just in here. This was your old high of 69. Remember, it got above 69, went to 73.8, and then just kind of failed. This is not important anymore. You just leave it as a point of reference. And now it's just still doing this. But from this was actually in October, it was at 28, and then it took out 46, and took out 48, then took out 52, then took out 69. So, these things need a long time. You could say that this could be a huge cup, and now it's building its handle, and at some point they'll take this out, and then probably give you that move that everyone's waiting for towards 85, 100, more than that, whatever it is. By the which way, it's just absorbing a really big move that happened from 31 to 73. So it doubled. Bitcoin doubled since October. Okay, so it's got to consolidate for a while, and there's the question is how long. It's been going on for a while now. So either accumulated every month like you would do with collecting gold coins or buying the GLD monthly, or you traded actively for a living, and actively for a living it was in a great momentum trend, and now it's just consolidating, and it shouldn't really be an over focus unless that's what you trade for a living. Yes, AMD is under the 200-day, and it's a pain in the ass. I said it. Anyway, 650. Once again, let's go back to the SPYs. You do have the PPI. Actually, look at this. So this is let's see the weekly chart of the SPY. So here is the 8-day. Okay, it's right around actually what's that, like 537.50-ish. That's pretty big resistance. This was your reversal candle. Okay, this was your ascending channel that broke. I guess if I really wanted to play with anyone, what's this low? This low is 547. Okay, that would definitely, if we went straight towards 547, which hopefully it doesn't do. Okay, that would definitely cause a little bit of a pain trade, but still would just be a retest of the broken ascending channel. So we'll see, and I don't expect that this week, but you just got to map out your levels. Same way we were able to be buying this 510 because we thought we saw this and was also equipped to say, hey, maybe this doesn't hold here, it goes to here. Well, obviously in motion, you have a map, and then the stocks and the sectors will tell you where it's going to. So at this point now, little inside candle, little room to here, and then this would be a pretty big overthrow, but that means it's back above the 8-day. So here it'll be interesting to see. Here it rode the 8-day all the way up, and now does it get rejected there? And if you go more to the daily chart, you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about. As far as does the V give us a point of reference top to then give us a retracement to turn into some type of W. But again, it's August 13th. It's a lot of time between now and then. So again, here's that 537 I showed you on the weekly. Here's 542, which would be a retest of the neckline that broke with this head and shoulders top. And then this would be a pain trade overthrow if it went straight from here all the way up without any type of real retracement. But we're going to let the markets trade. We're going to see the data, and we're going to act accordingly, because that's what we do as traders that actively approach the market responsibly with a plan. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I wish I had more conviction right here. Last Monday I was conviction, and then I was buying on Tuesday and even Wednesday, and I was telling everyone not to short 528s. Everybody thought this was the end of the bounce back. I'm like, be careful. It could be a trap, and all of a sudden, if you shorted this day, you've been rolling it up miserable, hoping for bad news. And I hate to be rolling up shorts miserable, hoping for bad news. I'd rather be opportunistic or out of the way if the market's not strong. Anyway, have a good day, guys.